So I'm Devin Smith. I'm the owner here at Trepidations Haunted Attraction.
My name's Caitlin Smith. I'm Devin's wife, and I am part owner of the haunt.
My name is Gavin Smith. I'm Devin's little brother. I play the part as Punky, and I also do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
I'm Zane, Zane Gray. What I do for the haunt is the actor manager.
How did I meet Devin? We met in high school in class, and I just thought he was super cute, and so here we are now. We're married.
So I met Devin in high school. I think I was a junior and he was a senior his senior year. He just moved from Gravette and he came to, and we played football together, and he graduated. I was in my senior year. I graduated, and he just randomly texted me and said, "Hey, would you want to work at my haunted house?" And I said, "Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I love to do acting and stuff like that." And so I thought it was a great thing to do, and for a buddy that I played football with, went to high school with, so I thought it was really cool. Didn't think we'd be this far, and it's even better.
So what got me into haunting? That doesn't start in 2020, right? That's whenever Trepidations Haunted Attraction kind of was born. We bought the building in 2020. First year is 2020 is whenever we opened. So really, I think it started whenever I was a kid. The fire department my dad was a part of, they always did a haunted house. So I kind of grew up around that a little bit. It always terrified me, but I was kind of around, and I remember enjoying just the idea of a haunted house, right? And as I got older, I always liked Halloween. I liked decorating the house and making like mini haunted houses in my bedroom, whenever I was younger. And then we had a shed in the backyard, and I would take that shed each year and I would like build a little haunted house in there. That's kind of where I started. And I always knew I wanted to do a haunted house, like a real haunted house. So I think that's kind of how I got into it, was just being around it at a young age, and took a little bit of time away from it and just kind of went to a bunch of them in between, like being younger and kind of building them, and then being a teenager just going to them. And then once I got my first like legit full-time job, was making a little bit of money, found the building in Seligman. We purchased it. We were going to do a haunted house, and that's kind of where Trepidations was born. But me getting into the haunt industry was so much longer ago.
What got me into the industry is Devin always wanted to have a haunted house, and so once it came time to where he could possibly buy a building for one, I said, well, I would like to have a house first. And he said, okay, well, I also want a haunted house. And I said, okay, well, I'll buy a house and you can buy your haunted house. And that's how it all started.
So what got me into haunting? Devin has always grown up around it, and him having such a passion for it, and me growing up with him, he's brought me into a lot of the haunt stuff that he's like. He has worked at a place in Main Street in Old Town we used to live in, and I worked there for a night. I was around 6 at the time probably, and I remember it was terrifying for me. But growing up and always being around it, and oh, that looks cool, and Halloween Store was going places with Devin. I've grown accustomed to the look of just cool shit, and I've always wanted to be a part of that in some way.
So the reason why I started the haunt is, this isn't my first haunt job. I started at the corn maze, and then I just didn't do anything for a while. I was always into drama and like theater and everything like that in high school, and so when I graduated, there was really nothing. And then, like I said, Devin, the owner, texted me, a buddy of mine, and asked me if I wanted to help him out in his haunt and act for him and everything like that, and scare some people, which, if you've ever done this, you know the feeling. It's really fun to see fear in people's faces, and so that's why I do it, and that's why I like to do it.
So Trepidations was my first professional haunted house. So I've been in the industry since 2020. That's whenever Trepidations first opened, was the year 2020, right in the middle of COVID and all that other bullshit that was going on in the world at the time. So yeah, since 2020 professionally, I've worked at them since I was like, I think 16. I had my first job at a haunted house. I've worked at a few. So really, I guess, since I was a teenager, I've been in the industry. in some way, shape, or form.
We don't have a lot of people. It's okay. We're here to have fun, enjoy. Please just entertain the people that we do have come in. That's all I expect. That's all Devin expects. That's all Devin expects. We need to try. Okay?
I am Chloe, and I am a scare actor.
I am Alex, and I am what they call the shit rabbit, and I work in the showers.
Well, I met Devin and Caitlin last year, I believe, whenever I applied and interviewed for the haunt, and it was really intimidating at first to come in and interview with them, but they're really cool people, and I really like to be here and hang out with them.
Well, I met them working here. Yeah. No.
Haunting to me is more than just building a haunted house and just like being open or whatever you would just generally think. Haunting to me is bringing all these people together from so many different walks of life. I mean, we've got teachers, we've got pastors, we have people in emergency services that work for us. There's so many different walks of life that these people that come here and help us operate. There's just we take all these people, we bring them to this common area, to this haunted house, and they all get to just relieve their stress. They hang out, they make friendships, lifelong friendships. A lot of the people that we've hired and have returned, these people go off in the off season, they hang out and they party, they have fun, they hang out, like they become really good friends together. So haunting to me is kind of building those relationships and then allowing people an outlet for their creativity, right? So my little brother, for one, a good example would be, he's very creative and can build cool things. So we just put the manor in last year, and I built the rooms, and I'm like, here, this is what I want in this room, make it happen. And it was an outlet for him as far as going in there, and he could create whatever he wanted to. He could make this different reality in there, and thousands of people come and see it each year. And then you've got the people that just come act for us. Well, they're cooped up at their day job all the time, and they get to come here and just kind of let loose and just be this monster that I'm paying them to be for the night, and they get to have fun. They get to make lifelong memories for not only themselves but our customers too. And that kind of ties into what haunting is to me also, is it's lifelong memories. We have families that travel from all over the world to come see us each year, and it's one of those big things that they do together each year, and they cherish those memories, and I hope we can keep making those each year.
What does haunting mean to me? Some of it is family, and it feels like family, even the people who aren't blood related, because we're all in this one group, every Friday and Saturday of October, and we all come together and use our own ideas, even in the off season, and it means so much more than just opening up during 1 month of the year. It also means to me being able to show your creativity and what you can really do in learning life skills that you wouldn't learn out just working at Walmart or working blah blah blah. You learn so much more. You learn how to talk to people, how to build stuff, how to just, I don't know. It's way more than just a business to me.
Well, I've always been really into the horror side of things, scary stuff, movies, things like that. And I've always been kind of a baby when it comes to being scared. But my husband told me that Trepidations was interviewing for scare actors, and practically pushed me into the door. But I'm glad that he did, and I don't think that I could vision myself not doing it anymore.
I love the family aspect of it. I mean, I've been here since the start of it. seeing people grow. I mean, the owner's brother used to be 10 years old, and now he's a flipping teenager that's almost an adult. So like just seeing him grow, seeing everybody else around us, seeing people start families, seeing people have families, and it's just growing and we're growing. Having friends that I would have never been friends with without the haunt is just a cool aspect of it.
How has it grown since it started? Our costumes are better. Gavin has matured a lot more, so he's able to do a lot more than he used to. Our scenes have improved year by year because we just learn a lot more every year. We moved locations a few years ago, so we've grown.
2024 to me was the biggest year for Trepidations, moving the buildings and, but also 2025 because we added a whole new haunt and we got more in depth into the set and costuming and just everything. We went deeper. We went into such detail on everything, far more than what we did in any previous years.
So I'm very fortunate. I know a lot of haunted house owners, they don't feel like they can go put a costume on and get in on that fun. And some haunt owners just don't want to. I do, and fortunately I can. So the way that we have structured this haunted attraction, so I would say that I'm like the head manager, right? So everything goes up to me. I've always got a walkie-talkie on me, but I'm also in full costume. Every night that I'm here, I'm in full costume. Scary. And the way we have designed the haunt and then like our structure of managers, I very rarely get bugged, right? So we've got Caitlin will be underneath me, and then we've got a few people underneath beneath her, and it just it's a sort of a chain of command, if you will, of if an actor has a problem, they go to this manager. So it very rarely reaches me unless it's something super crazy that I have to deal with, and then typically I could break off and go deal with that. But I just don't think it would be as fun for me if I didn't get to act each night. That's kind of one of the big things I like to do, and create the character that we've made. If you don't know, I play Cutter, so he's one of the icon characters from the asylum over here. He's kind of an asshole, I will say that, and that's kind of the way I wanted to go with this character, because I'm kind of an asshole myself, so it just kind of translates nice. But yeah, that's kind of what I do. All of our managers are costumed actors, so if Zane needs to go handle something, it's not going to look weird. It's not a dude in a t-shirt running through the haunt trying to find the issue. It's a costume character he can scare up until he finds it. He can go handle it, and then he can sneak out. And that works very well for us. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but that's kind of how we operate.
Okay, Dr. Kane, that's I've been him for 2 years now. He's the whole story of him here is that he's a asylum's doctor, but this past year he's been kind of more since we opened up the other haunt, the manor. I see him as the person who all these messed up creatures that you're seeing in here, he has done. He has created them. He has messed them up in a way that is just, you'd have to come check it out to see, but has just messed up these creatures in ways that you can't even imagine. He's the one who gives the drugs, takes the drugs, and messes up his own world by doing it. That's what Dr. Kate is and how Trepidations shows him.
So when I started getting into Halloween and liking all that stuff was probably before I was even one. Devin really helped me get into this kind of thing and the haunt industry and all of this. Like I said, I worked at the little, spook house on Main Street. I was around 9 whenever the first haunt in Seligman opened, and I just fell in love. I haven't been the same since. It's changed me as a person and what I like, and yeah.
What are some memorable moments from haunting? I would say probably when our friends and family and fellow haunters get to come by and see everything that we've done, and they're just so proud of us and everything we've accomplished, and give us feedback on things that we've done, and how much they like it.
So what keeps me here? What keeps me here, right? It seems like there's some negatives and that there's some positives, but why do you keep coming back? And it's just for the love of the game, to be quite honest with you. The haunt industry is so dynamic, and you can do so many different things in the haunt industry. It's very unique in that, and I think I would never not want to be a part of it. I've learned a lot about building things and the best way to build things. Lighting. You learn a lot about lighting. You learn a lot about sound. You learn a lot about technology, like as far as programming our props, or say I want the lights in this room to do this, or I want this room to run this way. You're self-taught in that. Like, there's a lot of resources out there, so you kind of have to go out and branch out and find those resources. And apart from just loving it so much, it's just fun. It's just fun. That 1 month of operating makes it worth it. Being able to come over here, on days I'm off of work, and just build on something and make a completely different reality in this building than what people used to seeing. That's just very rewarding to me.
How have I grown as part of the haunt? I think that I have shown more maturity on like what I want my actors to be doing, what my actors should be doing. I have overlapped my character into something I think people now are showing back up, knowing who I am. So I think just showing that aspect of me and who I can be is something that has grown me into a better actor, better scarer, better manager on how to lead people into being what I would want if I showed up to a haunt to be scared.
Whenever I first interviewed, I thought that my favorite haunt was going to be the asylum, because it's crazy and creepy and all the things. But when I got in and I started working in the manor, it's a whole different vibe to the asylum, and I feel as if it's more creepy and just a lot more fun to watch people scream and twist and turn around the scary rooms. So I think the manor is my favorite.
Okay, so I found the post on Facebook that they were looking for scare actors. So I pushed my wife into applying because I didn't think I'd be able to with my full-time job. But then they didn't have a scare actor show up, so they asked me if I would, and I did. It was fun.
So some of the ups and downs, as with any business, there's quite a few ups and downs. The haunt industry it can have more downs than ups sometimes, I feel like, just based on the fact that it's seasonal. So I would say one of the downs of this business is it is seasonal. So we're only open 1 month out of the year. 1 month out of the year, we have to make enough to fund the building, fund the things that we have, pay our people. We have to do that in 1 month, right? To where a normal business, you're open 12 months out of the year, although you're paying for people 12 months out of the year. So it's one of those hard businesses to get into and stay into. I think a lot of people just go in thinking that they can make a ton of money doing a haunted house. They're standing out there in the queue line. They're like, hey, there's this many people here. You times that by the ticket price. These guys are making bank. Well, you got to think, we have to pay for the building all year long. We have to do improvements all year long to stay fresh and stay relevant with our customers. So that's kind of a tough one. And then I say all this not to be negative, just to be realistic with you. However, there's a lot of ups. The biggest up in the industry and up in the season for me is that first night after you just worked your ass off for 11 months. Right? Since we typically start in November, we have a couple meetings, figure out what we're going to do. We work all the way until we open that following year. The biggest payoff for me is that first night whenever those people come running out of the back of this haunted house and they've just had a really good time and they're talking about how good it is. They go in the gift shop, they buy our merchandise. Just seeing the reaction that people have to it is one of the biggest pluses for me.
What I think makes a good haunted house is creativity. That's the key thing that I think is, that plays a big part in haunted houses. Because without creativity in the haunted industry, you have nothing. With AI, there's no creativity and heart behind things. Even in promotional stuff, AI has been used so much, and I think that just kind of ruins the whole side and love for the industry.
Haunting means it means a lot to me. I feel like it's a way to express myself in a different form. I'm not normally as outgoing or anything when it comes to just being out in the world. So coming into the haunt and being able to scare and laugh and see people scream, it's a lot of fun, and it means a lot to me to be here.
I think it's a great way to get some rage out and show part of yourself that you wouldn't normally show in a public setting, a normal setting.
Where would I be without the haunt? I would hope the same place I'm at now, but probably not. I mean, Devin and me do kind of the same career other than just the haunt, and he's helped me quite a bit in that career as well, so it would probably be a lot worse than I am now in my career.
I like how close everyone is, or how close everyone feels.
There are a lot of things to love about Trepidations, but I think my favorite thing is that everybody who comes in to work and comes in to help are always viewed as sort of like a family. We get really close and we have laughs and jokes, and it's always really fun, and I always look forward to coming in and seeing everybody and scaring with them. So that's what I love about Trepidations.
I see a future going into it, and I see that sooner or later we can open, hopefully, if we keep getting business like we want, we can open up another one, and I could help run two or one fully, and I think it would be really fun to do that, and with help, of course, with Devin and everybody else that we have on the crew. But that's the reason why I keep coming back, and of course, like I said in the past, family here is just amazing, and I love everybody here, and I just want to continue to build on that and everything like that.
What do I want people to get from this documentary? I want them to have a better understanding, if they're not in the haunt industry, of what the haunt industry is, right? So it's not just some guy throwing up black walls anymore and calling it a haunted house. It's really not. It's the haunt industry is so much more now, and there's so many different avenues that you can take in the haunt industry. I don't think a lot of people know about it, and I think they just assume haunted house. It's a spook house. I've heard that a lot, a spook house. Not speaking ill on spook houses, but I think that's a very old school thing, an old school thinking, where haunted attractions are kind of what's taking over now. It's what the public expects. They want to be fully immersed into an attraction, right? And so that's what we try to provide here in little old Southwest Missouri. We're trying to bring that big city haunted house feel, that big production value to the small area. But yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want you to get from this documentary, and that, and just know how deep the history of the haunt industry and Trepidations itself, how deep that history goes. Good. That's a wrap, dude.